Hey guys, how are you doing? Anybody watch the Super Bowl tonight? I think I was probably the only one that did not watch it. The kids and my husband went to his father's and I stayed home. But that is okay because I had a headache and I fell asleep. And when I woke up anyways, everybody was gone. I don't watch football anyways, but I heard that Madonna's, actually I didn't hear anything particular about Madonna's performance. So I will, so I will have to watch that online. I'm sure it will be up there. Anyways, I'm going to do a to be read video for February, even though I just did a haul, which is basically going to be a big, I'm going to read all those books in February. But I added two books off of my shelf, and then whatever the library calls me about, because I always have stuff requested over there. So right now I'm reading Delirium by Lauren Oliver, and this book is so good right now. I love her writing. I am on page 198, and she wrote Before I Fall, and I had that book, and I swore I still had the book because I know I wanted to read it, but I cannot find it anywhere, and I don't think I read it yet. But I will have to, I'll have to check my Goodreads account because I really do not remember reading that book. Yeah, and I really don't think I would have given that book away or sold it. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm reading that now. And then I have Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor that I will try to read. It is due back on the 9th. I can renew it. So after Delirium, I'm going to start it. We'll see if I can get into it. Then I have, and you just see, if you've seen my library haul, just the last video, then you've seen the rest of these books, but they're what I plan on reading in February. So Never 18 by Megan Bostick. And the back of this says, I had the dream again. The one where I'm running. I don't know what from or where to, but I'm scared, terrified really. Austin Parker is never going to see his 18th birthday. He probably won't even see the end of the year. But in the short time he has left, there's one thing he can do. He can try to help the people he loves live, even though he never will. It's probably hopeless, but he has to try. So it sounds like it's going to be sad. Yeah, see, summary says 17-year-old Austin, aware that life is short, asks his best friend and secret love Kaylee to take him to visit people and places in and around Tacoma, Washington, so that he can try to make a difference in the time he has left. So he's obviously sick. It's a very short book, 199 pages. Then I have Catching Jordan by Miranda Keneally. And obviously there's a girl with a football helmet, so I'm assuming that she's playing football. It says, one of the boys. What girl doesn't want to be surrounded by gorgeous jocks day in and day out? Jordan Woods isn't just surrounded by hot guys, though. She leads them as the captain and quarterback of her high school football team. They all see her as one of the guys, and that's just fine, as long as she gets her athletic scholarship to a powerhouse university. But everything she's ever worked for is threatened when Ty Green moves to her school. Not only is he an amazing quarterback, but he's also amazingly hot. And for the first time, Jordan's feeling vulnerable. Can she keep her head in the game while her heart's on the line? So, got that. I'm not a big chick lit person, but I've heard a lot of things about this book. Good things, so I'm going to try it. Then I got A Lifetime of Listening to 5 Mean Years, The Doors by Grail Marcus. And see, some blurbs on the back says, nobody reads a song like Grail Marcus, whose prose is as passionate and omnivorous as the music he loves. Here he travels by way of Thomas Pynchon, pop art, and Charles Manson to bring the chaotic, majestic, death-haunted Doors back to doomed and haunting life. Let me see what this says in here. Just says A Lifetime of Listening to 5 Mean Years. Doesn't say anything. So I'm sure it's just basically him interpreting and maybe what the Doors meant to him. Stop it. So let me see. It says more Doors songs can be heard on the radio today, 40 years after Jim Morrison's death, than those of almost any group of their era. Sparked by that fact and with the deep focus and intensity of a critic absolutely engaged with the subject, Greil Marcus both revisits a parade of great performances: LA Woman, Roadhouse Blues, Light My Fire, When the Music's Over, End of the Night, and more, and explores why and how the Doors have endured with their spirit and menace intact. In a masterful essay that takes Oliver Stone's exorrated 1991 film The Doors as its springboard, Marcus makes plain that the Doors are at the heart of what Leslie Fieldler, God, I can't read today, guys, called the mythic life of their generation. In 20th Century Fox and their version of Gloria, Marcus follows the band on its giddy swerve between pop art and pornography. To Marcus, the Doors as a ghostly compulsion today is as powerful as when they first emerged in Los Angeles in 1966. He dramatizes how their music still shimmers with the dread that in their time hovered over a country convulsed by assassination and war, and with its own darkness over a city terrorized by the specter of the Manson murders, a dread that in different forms of different faces is with us still. I remember seeing this movie too. This movie was really good. Like Pink Floyd The Wall, that's another really good movie. And then Portia de Rossi's book, Unbearable Lightness, A Story of Loss and Gain. And this one's thin too, not a lot of pages, it's got pictures, so Portia de Rossi weighed only 82 pounds when she collapsed on the set of the Hollywood film in which she was playing her first leading role. This should have been the culmination of all her years of hard work, first as a child model in Australia, then as a cast member of one of the hottest shows on American television. On the outside, she was thin and blonde, glamorous and successful. On the inside, she was literally dying. So, that's what this is about, and I'm really excited to read it. Then I have Fury by Elizabeth Miles. Sometimes Sorry Isn't Enough. And even though this cover is gorgeous, after I showed it in my last video, I heard mixed reviews on it. But it says, it's winter break in Ascension, Maine. The snow is falling and everything looks pristine and peaceful. But not all is as it seems. Between cozy traditions and parties with her friends, Emily loves the holidays, and this year is even better. The guy she's been into for months is finally noticing her. But Em knows if she starts things with him, there's no turning back, because his girlfriend is Em's best friend. On the other side of town, Chase is having problems of his own. The stress of his home life is starting to take its toll, and his social life is unraveling. But that's nothing compared to what's really haunting him. Chase has done something cruel, something the perfect guy he pretends to be would never do. And it's only a matter of time before he's exposed. In Ascension, mistake can be deadly, and three beautiful, mysterious girls, are here to choose who will pay. Em and Chase have been chosen. So that actually sounds good. It doesn't say a lot, but it sounds mysterious and it sounds good. The summary says, after high school, junior Emily hooks up with her best friend's boyfriend, and football quarterback Chase's life spirals out of control. Three mysterious furies, paranormal creatures that often assume the form of beautiful women, come to town to make sure that Emily and Chase get what they deserve. So, yeah. And then the last one, or not the last one, this is the last library book. This is from another library haul. The Fox Inheritance by Mary E. Pearson, and this is the second book to The Adoration of Jenna Fox. So, I'm not going to read anything about this because we didn't read the first one. So, and this is, like I said, I'm trying to read sequels, because I always read the first books in things and series, and I never get to the rest of the books. So, and then out of my to be read pile, off of my shelves, I plan on reading this month, Perfect Match by Jodi Picoult, and I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. I've heard it pronounced different ways, but I don't know. I like pronouncing it that way. Now this one says, and I have a lot of her books actually. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. In the course of her everyday work, career-driven Assistant District Attorney Nina Frost prosecutes child molesters and works determinedly to ensure that a legal system with too many loopholes keeps these criminals behind bars. But when her own 5-year-old son Nathaniel is traumatized by sexual assault, Nina and her husband Caleb, a quiet and methodical stonemason, are shattered, ripped apart by an enraging sense of helplessness in the face of what futile justice system that Nina knows all too well. In a heartbeat, Nina's absolute truths and convictions are turned upside down, and she hurtles toward a plan to exact her own justice for her son, no matter the consequences, whatever the sacrifice. I have read, I think it's 2 books from her, and I love her writing, and her stories are just, the ones I read were amazing. And yeah, so I can't read this. All her books have been on my shelf for probably at least a year or almost a year, but I keep getting library books and just keep passing over them. So I threw it in my pile. I keep all my books in a pile over here of what I plan on reading next. So, and then the next one that I plan on reading for this month is a true crime book, and it's The Dartmouth Murders. It's by Eric Francis. I have not read a true crime book in a while, so I wanted to make sure I got to one. And this one says, on January 27th, 2001, popular Dartmouth College professors Half and Susan Zantop, Half, oh that's a weird name, were found slain in their home in the wooded outskirts of Hanover, New Hampshire. Both had been stabbed repeatedly in the head and torso with 12-inch combat knives. The crime, unprecedented in the bucolic college town, sparked a nationwide manhunt. Then weeks later, a CB radio call aroused the suspicion of an Indiana cop, leading him to a truck stop east of Indianapolis and the arrest of 2 suspects. Their identities would be as startling as the crime itself. James Parker and Robert Tulloch were 2 clean-cut, straight-A Vermont high school students with impeccable reputations. But by the time they were apprehended, the boys were fugitives from the law. When confronted by authorities, the 2 gave no resistance, and investigators couldn't imagine any motive they might have had for the vicious killings. Could these boys have snuffed out the lives of perfect strangers with such intense, cold-blooded fury? So, yeah. I used to read true crime all the time. And once I started reading YA, though, everything else took a back seat for me. So, I'm hoping to get these in there. So that's it. That's my to be read, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, which is like 10 days worth of reading or 2 weeks worth of reading. So, and like I said, whatever else the library has for me. So, alright guys, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.